all the action, mistakes, Easter eggs, and cameos in blockbuster movies, the drama and comedy behind the scenes can be just as awesome. We're changing things up and giving you another rapid-fire dose of movie trivia you never thought to look for. Screen Rant presents Know Your Movies, 20 amazing movie secrets that will blow your mind. Number 2. The Revenant. The director's commitment to realism didn't just send the cast into the wild, but scenes could only be filmed using natural light, with the crew waiting until the sun lit the scene perfectly and having just hours to shoot each day. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The stormtrooper Finn gets his nickname from his First Order ID, FN 2187. The FN stands for Foot Soldier Number, but the 2187 is a reference to Leia's Death Star prison cell in the first movie. Mad Max: Fury Road. Fans hoping to see a romance develop between stars Max Rokitansky and Furiosa left the theater disappointed, but the doubles for Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron didn't. When they rehearsed a brutal fistfight between the two characters when Max first meets the women, they fell in love, eventually marrying once production wrapped. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Scarlett Johansson didn't know she was pregnant until a day before filming started, so the Ultron effects team was charged with hiding her growing belly through CG. Aside from stunt doubles, watch out for Black Widow covering her stomach or conveniently lying down for entire scenes. The Martian. A lot of the humor in this Mars story comes from the book it's based on, but the filmmakers had some fun. In one scene, the head of NASA makes an accurate prediction. It's accurate because that exact scene played out in the novel, giving those who read it an even bigger laugh. Jurassic World. Nobody would have ever guessed that Chris Pratt, the chubby clown from Parks and Rec, would wind up battling dinosaurs, right? Wrong. He made the prediction himself in a behind-the-scenes gag video 4 years before being cast. Minions. The little yellow mascots of the Despicable Me series are famous for their voices and gibberish language, but for their standalone movie, it was only the director Pierre Coffin who supplied the voices. All of them. All 899 of them. Talk about dedication. Ant-Man. Even though Adam McKay was brought in to rewrite Ant-Man, there weren't many connections to his other hit Anchorman, but the Pym Technologies building should look familiar. It's the same Atlanta building used for the Channel 4 headquarters. Deadpool. Almost every superhero movie costume comes with a muscle suit to give the stars a comic book body, but on Ryan Reynolds, the extra muscles were overkill, so the finished physique of Deadpool is all natural. X-Men: Apocalypse. The mutant Nightcrawler gets a second appearance in this prequel/reboot. Played by Cody Smith-McPhee, the actor finally joins the Marvel super team after he was originally cast as a young Wolverine in X-Men Origins. Warcraft. Even though the orcs of this video game fantasy are created entirely in computers, director Duncan Jones still had full-sized models of their in-game armor constructed to scale, so the actors knew just how intimidating their CG characters really were. The Jungle Book. Most Disney movies tend to give animals human personalities, but for the CG live-action Jungle Book, it's the opposite. Footage of real animals was used as the base, with the famous cast having to copy those movements as they delivered their lines. Independence Day: Resurgence. Can you believe an Independence Day sequel was actually planned as soon as the movie hit theaters? The writer wound up returning his pay for the sequel script since he didn't think the story was strong enough. 15 years later, inspiration struck, and the story for Resurgence was born, set 2 decades after the first film. The Revenant. It wasn't just the cold and snow that star Leonardo DiCaprio had to deal with, but his vegetarian diet. When a scene called for the character to eat mouthfuls of bison liver, he realized the fake version wouldn't work and chowed down on the real thing, admitting he would never do it again. Furious 7. Paul Walker's death stunned movie fans and forced the makers of the Fast and Furious team to get creative. Body doubles, CG, and Walker's brothers were used to finish his scenes in Furious 7. The most incredible solution? An airplane scene that required the effects team to copy Walker in, frame by frame, using footage taken from Fast 5 to finish his character's story in the series. The Hateful Eight. Though he denied it at first, Quentin Tarantino eventually admitted that this western was planned as a sequel to Django Unchained, with Jamie Foxx's hero one of the snowed-in bounty hunters. Since audiences shouldn't know who's good or bad or going to survive, he eventually rewrote the script with Django removed. Mad Max: Fury Road. American movie fans have learned one lesson over the years. German or Russian accents belong to villains. Wartime grudges are worldwide. In both the English and German versions of the movie, the evil buzzards, the spike-covered bad guys in the first act, speak Russian. For the Russian cut, their lines were redubbed into German. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Director J.J. Abrams found a way to pay homage to every movie in the original Star Wars trilogy in his sequel, including the iconic environments from each in Episode 7. The deserts of Tatooine in A New Hope, the frozen snow of Hoth in Empire, and the forests of Endor's Moon in Return of the Jedi. Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. J.J. Abrams may have only produced Rogue Nation after directing the franchise's 3rd installment, but his impact was still felt. When Ethan Hunt tries hacking an underwater terminal, it's labeled with the number 108, which just so happens to be the sum of the famous numbers from Abrams' famous TV series Lost: 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Spectre. The famous secret society and supervillain Blofeld finally returned to the modern Bond movies. They were originally planned to appear in the first Casino Royale reboot, but were replaced by Quantum. When the producer who owned the rights passed away years later, a settlement was reached, and Quantum was revealed to be a subsidiary of Spectre all along. Those are some of our favorite mind-blowing movie facts, but let us know which ones we missed and stay tuned for more. And remember, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.